Where is your cell phone right now? Is it within 2 feet of you? Yeah, that's what I thought. And that is exactly why text message marketing is so powerful. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly how we text message market and why it's such a powerful strategy. Other than the fact that your cell phone is always on you, we also discuss how to do it right. So stay tuned. I'm Christian Weatherspoon. We are Real Estate Investing Made Easy. So it's time to make text message marketing easy.
The last one, and what we view and our clients view as the best cost per lead overall with a high level of performance, is SMS marketing. So text message marketing, there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, text message marketing, it's dying, it's changing too rapidly, you can't make as much money. And while that may be true, that it is not as profitable for some people as it used to be a few years ago, it is still a great method of marketing where you can generate a lot of leads and do a lot of deals. I mean, for a couple of years, we were doing all of our deals just from text message marketing alone. The great thing about text message marketing is, you're literally leveraging a device that is, for the most part, attached at people's hip, if not their wrist, which, for any of you who our relationship, this is a big improvement for our level of communication, because now
I don't like being on the phone, okay?
Yeah. Now
the phone's on me.
Exactly. So, like 98% of people that get a text message respond within the first 3 minutes, get a high level of interaction, and it's quick interaction. You can weed through, bad prospects and good prospects really, really quickly. There's a bunch of different platforms out there for text message marketing, and there's really two different types of text message marketing platforms. You have your spray and pray method, which is mass text. It's one click and it'll blast out 1,000 messages or whatever it is. That method you should not be using. It's dying. It's killing the industry. It's creating all of the problems that we're seeing in the text messaging space right now, because they're basically spam blasting everybody. Yep. Then you've got the other one, which is 10DLC compliant, and that is one click to send one message. Now, that might seem very labor intensive, right, and cumbersome. However, what we do is we just train our VAs to literally get all the templates set up, have it ready to go, and literally just rapid fire, as quickly as you can tap the mouse button, that's as quickly as you can send each of those text messages out.
He's really good at jiu-jitsu, but he also has training courses about how to leverage your wrist control. Just
Yep.
So,
exactly.
Check those out. Link in
one of the things that we would encourage you to implement in your interview process and hiring process is, under additional skills, mention Morse code. If you have experience with Morse code, you could probably send out a lot of text messages really quickly. No, I wouldn't suggest that. But yeah, I mean, it's a great form of marketing. We're sending out, in the first 6 months of this year, we sent out about 2 million text messages across multiple markets, and we've delivered over 5,000 leads.
Say the number again.
2 million.
2 million. Yeah.
And delivered 5,000 leads.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's exactly. A lot.
Exactly.
People who use it at a high level are saying, that's a lot.
Yeah. Exactly. And the interesting thing is, there's a lot of different platforms. So, again, get rid of the spray and pray mass text method, focus on the 10DLC compliant, and within that umbrella, you have a handful of different platforms out there. You've got REI Reply, you've got Roar, I guess is still around, you've got maybe Lead Sherpa's still doing it, you've got Batch Leads, and then you've got Launch Control, and there's also Smarter Contacts. So there's a bunch of different platforms out there. The key thing that when we're looking at things, we've been using Launch Control for the last 3 years, and we've checked out pretty much every other platform out there. And
everyone that you just mentioned and beyond.
Yeah. And, we hear from people from time to time like, oh, I use this because it's cheaper. I use that because it's cheaper. The analogy that I give is, let's say you had Chris and Christian, and we were in a race to get from California to Pennsylvania, right? And we had to drive across the country.
He'd win because I don't want to go to Pennsylvania.
He doesn't want to leave his house.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so if we had a race to get from California to Pennsylvania or anywhere on the East Coast, 3,000 miles away, right? And we had to drive a vehicle there, right? And Christian decides, I'm going to spend the next 6 months building a car, and then I'm going to get in that car, and then I'm going to drive across the country. Meanwhile, me over here, where I'm like, let's be fast and efficient, I'm just going to walk into the dealership, sign some paperwork, drive off the lot, and start making my way across the country. Who do you think's going to get to the other side of the country first? I'm probably going to get there before he even finishes setting up his space to start building his car.
Except I'm going to get my man card.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically the equivalent of a lot of these other platforms. It's because you have to integrate a bunch of different things together to build it out and make them work together. And oftentimes the challenge with that is when you have one system that's relying on another system and there's integrations, oftentimes those integrations can fail. You have to reintegrate things. And so there's challenges there. But most people that I've talked to, when they're saying, oh, this is cheaper than launch control, they're not factoring in all of the things that they need to integrate. Their Twilio, their Plivio, like all these different things that they have to integrate to make it actually function. And when I actually went through and I did the cost analysis, it was like maybe $100 or $200 a month difference, but I can get up and running faster, more efficiently, and it's already tried and true and proven, and I've had great success with launch control. So why am I going to make a switch to something that is a lot more labor intensive for me to build out and set up and doesn't really have a significant selling point on, performing at a higher level? If it was like, okay, well, we're going to get you double the responses, well, absolutely, I would consider that all day. But when I've also talked to these other people about, hey, what's your average deliverability rate, your average response rate? And I found that for the most part, they all have a lower deliverability rate. And so, at the end of the day, right, like these little nuances matter. We did a competition with our ISAs, our VAs, regarding creating new templates for launch control. And so the way we did it was they had to create new templates that were able to be saved, and then we saved them into all of our clients' accounts. And then we did 30 days where all of the ISAs were using all of those specific templates. And the difference between the highest performing one and the lowest performing one was only a 2% difference from a response rate standpoint, or the number of leads generated, right? And response rates. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but when we did the calculation over the course of an entire month, what it ultimately means is that the one that performed 2% higher overall would actually get 1,100 additional responses to that message versus the person that was 2% lower. So you factor that over the course of a year. I mean, 10 months, that's 11,000. That's another 22. So that's like 130,000 additional responses on a yearly basis. Well, if all other things stayed true, you would close multiple more deals throughout the year just simply based on that little nuance difference. So I say that story to tell you that, I've talked to people that are using other things and they're like, oh, I have a 60% deliverability rate, a 70% deliverability rate. Well, we have a 90% average deliverability rate. That's substantial. So now out of 100 messages being sent, you have one person has, we'll call it 70 responses. I have 70 delivered, 90 delivered, right? Then when you come to responses, even if we have the same response rate, let's say we both have 20%, right? I'm going to have 18 responses. They're going to have 14 responses. And that's just out of 100 messages. In our business, we're sending out on average about 2,500 messages per day per market.
Yeah.
So, you calculate that out, right? So that's, what was it, four response difference between those two numbers. You multiply that by 25, that's 100 additional responses that we're getting just when you factor all those numbers into play. So it is a massive difference. We love launch control. Like, I can't see us veering away from launch control.
We tried to.
Yeah.
I've been looking for the past several months at something that's different, and I've realized breaking it into two different categories where I go into depth about this topic in a video. I will link that in the description below, and it's called, the video title is The Death of Launch Control, or Is This the Death of Launch Control? It's definitely worth seeing. So watch that if you're curious about it. And I do mention an alternative, only one other alternative that I would recommend, but it's a very specific reason why you would want to go to that, related to what he's talking about right now. So check that out. But you're right. I mean, this is like the number one marketing method for the lowest cost per lead, but what you're speaking to is two different things. The platform you use, but then how you use it.
Yep.
So you got to use it at a high level.
Yeah.
So how do you use it at a high level?
Yeah, you got to have systems and processes in place. And so, we've been leveraging the systems and processes that we've developed for the last 3 years. And it's been successful for all of our clients nationwide. And so if you're looking for a way to systematize your launch control usage, I would encourage you to click the link below, get on our calendar for a marketing strategy session. If you're not using launch control at all, right, then we'll actually go through and show you how to use launch control at a high level, and we'll get you some additional bonuses for signing up. If you are already using launch control, we'll actually do an audit of your system and show you where your shortcomings might be, and show you what you're doing really well, and showing what you might need some improvement on. And then for those of you who, either A, you just have some extra funds available to deploy into marketing, or, B, you're just tired of managing the marketing yourself and you want to outsource that, we have a done-for-you marketing package as well, with a few different tier options where we can actually take over your text message marketing and cold call marketing and handle all of that for you. And I say that it's not just the actual marketing, right? There's additional levels in that, because what we do is we help you figure out what the list is that you want to go for. We'll pull the list, we'll skip trace the list, we'll scrub the list prior to skip tracing to make sure we're not paying to skip trace numbers that you've already paid for, which, by the way, Skippy 3.0 is going to have an additional feature where it's actually going to cross-reference previous lists that you've skip traced to remove duplicates. So that's something that's really, really valuable, and will save you a lot of money.
I'm so excited for that.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Because we have a process right now that we utilize to fix that, to solve for that. And investors that we work with, their minds are blown. They're like, wait, I can save, depending on their volume, right, thousands of dollars a month without skipping duplicates? Yes, you can. But for us, when we take it over, it's a lot more labor intensive.
Yep.
So we talked to JP, best skip tracer, and he's like, yep, let's fix that.
Exactly.
So he's fixing it. So excited.
But yeah, anyway, back to the marketing that we do. We'll take all of that over, we'll skip trace it, scrub it, sift through, and then we'll do all of the text message marketing for you, all the way through to the point where it makes sense as a lead, and then we'll deliver that right to your CRM so you can hop on the phone with them right away and get those deals locked up. So if you want to learn more about that, click the link below in the description and schedule your free strategy session, and we'll walk you through our process. And if it makes sense for you to sign up for our marketing, we'll discuss that, see if we're a good fit to work together. Otherwise, if you still want to do the DIY process, we'll show you all of our processes and hand that stuff off to you so you can do it at a higher level.
Yeah, we'll hook them up, man.
Absolutely.
And, as
one might say, we'll make it easy.
Hey, I hope you like this overview of text message marketing. I'll tell you, we go very in-depth about our favorite platform for text message marketing right here in this video series. It's all about our preferred platform that has been a deal generator for motivated seller leads to scale not only our real estate investment business, but our done-for-you marketing clients all across the country. You're not going to want to miss this, so click here for this training series where we're making text message marketing easy.